Hey, I'm Willie Jungles, live outside Beaver Stadium with your sports. As you can see behind me, there are no campers. That's because Nittanyville is not camping until 3 o'clock today due to the weather. But as Travis just showed you, and as you can see, it is gorgeous down here. Now, the big question is what Penn State football team will show up in Beaver Stadium tomorrow. They've been inconsistent all year. The one thing they've been consistent at is turning the ball over, and it's been a major problem for the Nittany Lions.
When you're a ball carrier on our team, you're carrying the hopes and dreams of this football team.
Bill O'Brien knows it must improve. Throughout this inconsistent season, one thing has been a constant. Penn State is turnover prone. The Nittany Lions have the worst turnover margin in the Big Ten.
One of the things is some of them we look at and we say, you know, there's a couple times where the defense made a good play. But there's other times that it's just, you know, to me, a complete lack of focus. To me, you know, we just have to execute better and emphasize that in coaching. But there are technical aspects to it, Willie, like you're saying, and that's what we try to coach.
At 5-4 and no postseason eligibility, many have wondered what exactly Penn State is playing for. O'Brien and his players, however, aren't wondering at all.
It's been an up and down season, but, you know, we just continue fighting through. And, you know, we just want to get better. So that's all it's about, just being resilient. That's one thing Coach O'Brien preaches to us.
People question what is there to play for. There's a lot to play for. You know, there's the respect of your opponent. There's your teammates. There's the tradition of Penn State football. At Penn State, there will never be a question of what is there to play for. Let me put it to you that way.
Now, Penn State should have little trouble with Purdue. The Boilermakers have lost 7 in a row and are being outscored 193-31 in Big Ten play. Now over to high school football, where Tyrone has a huge playoff matchup tonight as they attempt to clinch a spot in the AA District 6 championship game. The Golden Eagles will head to Johnstown tonight to face the Richland Rams. Richland is the #1 seed in District 6, and they beat Ligonier Valley 46-6 to advance this evening's game. Tyrone will have to be nearly perfect tonight to beat the undefeated Rams, but the Golden Eagles are up for the challenge.
They don't want this thing to end, and they know they have an incredible challenge tonight. And they're all committed to going out there and playing as hard as they can play for 48 minutes and keeping themselves in this game and seeing what happens at the end.
The winner of tonight's game between Tyrone and Richland will face the winner of Forest Hills and Central next weekend at Mansion Park in Altoona. Now, Penn State women's basketball with a golden opportunity to shock the basketball world this weekend. The Lady Lions welcome in defending national champion UConn, led by Hall of Fame coach Gino Auriemma. Connecticut is coming off a blowout victory over third-ranked Stanford, but will be without preseason All-American Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis. Penn State has had a week off to prepare for the Huskies and will attempt to defeat them for the first time since 1983. Tip will be at noon on Sunday at the BJC. Meanwhile, the men's team will look to bounce back after suffering their first loss of the season Wednesday night at home to Bucknell. The Lions will travel 3 hours to Philadelphia, where they'll take on the Penn Quakers in the famed Palestra. It'll be the first of 2 consecutive opponents from Philly, as the Lions will return home next week to take on LaSalle Tuesday. Tip-off versus the Quakers is set for 2 p.m. tomorrow. And a big series took place and kicked off last night at Pagola Ice Arena last night. Men's hockey welcomed in one of last year's Frozen Four participants in UMass Lowell. The 13th-ranked Riverhawks rode a superb performance in net by sophomore Connor Hellebuck to a 4-0 victory. Penn State dropped to 3-4-1, while UMass Lowell will go for the 2-game sweep tonight when the puck drops at 7. The game is sold out. And what seemed improbable months ago is finally happening. Yes, it is happening. Matt McGloin will be starting for the Oakland Raiders this weekend. According to multiple reports, the quarterback has been taking first-team reps in practice for the Oakland Raiders in wake of starting quarterback Terrell Pryor's sprained MCL. The former walk-on is slated to start in Houston against the Texans. McGloin would be the first Penn State quarterback to start in the NFL since Kerry Collins for the Colts in 2011. Also in sports, Ed Ruth will not travel with the wrestling team this weekend. According to head coach Cale Sanderson, Ruth violated team rules earlier this week. A lot going on in sports this week. Hopefully they can get a couple wins here at Penn State for Tori's birthday, and we'll see if they can make that happen. I'm Willie Jungles outside Gate 8. Back to you guys.